Hello everybody, this is Moshe, the Electric Israeli, and today I'm going to talk about tax incentives and rebates. As you know, tax incentives for electric cars are a very big factor for people and for the adaptation of electric cars, and they can be a big, huge motivator. They are a big, huge motivator, and even advertising tools for buying and selling electric cars. So we all know the general one, the one that's been around the most, and that's the $7,500 tax credit for buying an electric car, and you get the full price if it's pure electric. And even if it's a PHEV, you get the full price depending on the size of the battery. Think 14 or 16 kilowatt, something like that. You get the full price, and if it's lower, you get lower, 35, 25, depends, 1250, something like that. So that's the federal. When you do your federal taxes, you submit it. It has to be for that year. It has to be new. You cannot get federal tax incentive for a used electric car. And then, other than that, there are different states have different programs. I mentioned it. New Jersey has a no sales tax on pure electric cars. Texas, I had the video about it the other day. Reinstating the $2,500 incentive for buying electric cars, and on and on and on. Every state is different, and the pioneer, I would say the leader in this category was and is California, and also New York, with the additional $2,500 incentive in your taxes. So basically you can get up to 10 grand off your price for an electric car. But that's general, so anybody can benefit from it. Doesn't matter who buys it. You can be very wealthy and still get that tax incentive, at least the federal one. But California announced a big step forward, big step forward, and that is the aim to try to bring in what we call lower income families, that even $10,000 is not enough as a tax incentive. They will need more. Besides the $7,500, they will need more. So they announced a $7,000 tax incentive for electric cars, $4,500 for fuel cell cars like the Mirai that they sold only in California, and $3,500 for a plug-in hybrid, PHEV. But the catch is that you have to submit an application with income verification, I guess W-2s or whatever that is. I'm not sure what it is, but you have to show that you are in that low income bracket, whatever it is. I'm not sure what is the annual income or the annual gross income, but there is a form, and you have to submit it, and it has to be verified, and you have to show some tax documentation. Let's say W2, let's say, or W4. So that is very interesting. That is, I don't know if any state does that, because up to now, all the taxes are basically open for everybody if you qualify. This targets that particular socioeconomic group, which California wants to incentivize to adapt to electric cars, which are more expensive than their gasoline equivalents, just paying the price. Now, I also read that if you qualified and you get the additional $7,000 of the list price, you have to pay obviously the rest or finance the rest. In other words, you have to come up with the rest of the money. I'm not sure if it's right away, like cash, or take a loan. I'm not sure how is that, but it is available. I think the big picture is that local governments, states, local governments, of course the federal government, has a big role in helping the transformation from fossil fuel run cars to electric cars that hopefully eventually will be charged from clean renewable sources. And that would be wonderful. And as you know, I love business. I have business, and I think it's better business. So the transformation is not only beneficial for the environment, which I care about, and a lot of people do too, but also it is a good economic incentive, and it's good economic period. And I think it's wonderful. I commend California. Also, New York does a lot of good things. New Jersey too, especially in solar energy, is a lot of incentives for people to do tax credits and all that. So that is great. So the government, which personally I think should be the smallest possible, but the government has a role in creating policies and helping businesses. I always believe in business, the people. Helping businesses to give them incentives to have a mass adaptation, which is good for everybody. I believe in everybody wins method. Everybody wins. Win, win, win for everybody. So that's wonderful. Good for California. I hope a lot of other states do that, to continue to give incentives so the prices go down and more people buy it. I remember, for example, when the flat screen TV came out, it was I don't know, $5,000 or $6,000. Today you can buy one for $300. But because there's mass adaptation, a vehicle is a very expensive thing, obviously. So in order to incentivize people to buy one, changing the whole methodology of transportation requires policy changes and incentives. I believe in policy and incentive, not in decrees. Okay, so that's great. So if your state have something similar, or if your state have something different, please share. I always love to share. I would love this interactive discussion we have on my discussion below. So please add your discussion or your thought, and let's incentivize our local governments to continue giving incentives to all others to help us change the world one electric car at a time. I sound a little bit poetic, but I didn't mean that. All right, guys, thank you. Subscribe to my channels, The Electric Israeli, and my other business channel right here. There's links for everything. And I'll see you tomorrow, I guess, with another episode of The Electric Israeli. Thank you, everybody.